This video shows you how to get married at
San Francisco City Hall.
Hi there, I'm Zoe of Zoe Larkin Photography, and I specialize in photographing weddings right here in our beautiful monument, San Francisco City Hall. This is a civil ceremony, our first type of ceremony. They usually take place here at the Rotunda, which is located at the top of the grand staircase. Here's one taking place right now. You'll have your marriage license in hand already, more on that in a bit. Then check into room 168, the county clerk's office, 15 minutes before your appointed ceremony time. The check-in process takes anything up to 30 minutes. Photographers are not allowed to take photos in the corridor or on the office itself, and these photos are from before the rules changed. An officiant is provided for civil ceremonies only. You can always request a different area that's a little bit less dark, for example the mayor's balcony, 3rd floor, the 4th floor, but the officiant you're allocated day of will make the final determination. Officially, a maximum of 6 guests are permitted to attend your civil ceremony. This includes any children, your witness, and your photo and video team. Though the rule isn't strictly enforced, it can be invoked at any time. These are the actual civil ceremony vows you'll recite. Pause the video here if you want to take a closer look. It's very short, lasting around 3 to 4 minutes, and it's even shorter if you don't exchange rings. Here's some more key information about civil ceremonies. They take place on Monday to Fridays, excluding holidays and major events, with ceremony slots every half hour between 9 AM and 3:30 PM. You can book up to 90 days out via the official booking website. If you're looking for something a bit more special though, consider a private ceremony. This is a private ceremony. A 1-hour private rental gives you more privacy, the ability to customize your ceremony, and a much higher guest count.
This is the mayor's balcony, and this is the 4th floor north gallery.
You can further personalize proceedings by reciting your own vows, having your own officiant, decorating the space with florals, having acoustic musicians, and even a first dance. Food and drink service though is not permitted. During the 1-hour slot, there is enough time for your ceremony, followed by your formal group photos. Our preferred location out of the 2 areas available is the 4th floor north gallery. It's spacious, more private, with better acoustics, and of course, beautiful natural light. Here's some key information about private ceremonies. They take place Monday to Friday, excluding holidays. The time slots for the 4th floor are 9 AM, 11 AM, 1 PM, and 3 PM. Time slots for the mayor's balcony are 10 AM, 12 PM, and 2 PM. The maximum guest count for both areas is 100 guests, with 60 seated guests on the 4th floor and 40 seated guests on the mayor's balcony. You can book a maximum of 2 years out and a minimum of 2 weeks out. There is also a third popular ceremony type, and that is a Saturday morning buyout, where you have the whole of City Hall to yourselves. The 2 hours easily cover your romantic portraits, ceremony, and formal groupings. You'll tie the knot on the grand staircase itself and be surrounded by rows of loved ones on the ground floor in a horseshoe. There is way more personalization that you can weave into your event, as well as a much higher guest count of up to 200 guests. After you've secured your ceremony booking for whatever type of ceremony you opt for, you can then set about booking your appointment for your marriage license. There are plenty of appointments for license pickup, but ceremony slots tend to be highly sought after, so that's why we recommend booking your ceremony first and then the marriage license appointment. Marriage licenses can be procured from any county in California and are valid for 90 days from the date of issue. It's highly recommended to book this appointment for a different date sometime within 90 days of your wedding day, with both partners needing to be present. If you are from out of state and eloping here, make sure you reach California at least 1 business day before your ceremony and have a license appointment secured for that date. License costs vary across counties, so it may be more convenient to pick this up from your local county. Here's an overview of the different ceremony options that we've gone over at a glance. The accompanying blog post linked in the description has more information of the current prices for each ceremony type, with links to book directly with City Hall. Next, we're going to whiz through some frequently asked questions to complete the picture. What's the best time of day to get married at San Francisco City Hall? The best time of day is the first slot of the day. The building is only relatively empty when the doors open at 8 AM. Sometimes it remains pretty empty for the first half hour or so, but you may be vying with other couples that have the same idea. City Hall fills up as the day goes on and then tends to empty out after 3:30 PM when the final ceremonies are taking place. Bear in mind that during the winter months it is much darker inside the building after around 3 PM. Aside from that, the first or last ceremony slots of the day are worth considering. What's the best time time of the week to get married at City Hall. Tuesdays and Wednesdays tend to be the quietest days of the week. Fridays are by far the busiest year round. On Thursdays, the weekend rush tends to pick up. Mondays can also be a little busy as couples want to tie their wedding in with the weekend, but generally Mondays are not too bad either. What's the best time of year to get married at San Francisco City Hall? The busiest months of the year at City Hall, in my experience, are shown on this chart on screen. The last couple of weeks of March, April, May, June, September, October, the last couple of weeks of November, and December is usually pretty busy. Bear in mind the quiet months coincide with the cold and rainy weather, January and February, and the foggy and cold months of July and August. That's worth remembering if you're planning a photo shoot outdoors or want to make a vacation out of it. How many witnesses do we need to elope at City Hall? In California, it's mandatory to have one witness present during your wedding ceremony. I recommend sticking to just one witness because if there are mistakes on the form, crossings out, it will not be accepted. Although the state doesn't enforce an age requirement, witnesses must be capable of signing their names. If you don't have guests or would prefer not to ask them to witness, then your photographer will gladly act as witness. If you obtain a confidential marriage license, no witness is required. What do we need to bring with us? You'll need your marriage license, government issued ID, and a witness present. On your ID, check to ensure that your entire name is spelled out in full with no initials. If that's the case, then bring your passport too. If the language of your ID is not English, you will also need to bring a certified translation. Bring your wedding rings if you'd like to exchange them. However, they are not necessary in order to get married. A bouquet and a boutonniere is a nice touch to give a sense of occasion. What should we not bring with us? Be careful not to bring any prohibited items inadvertently, as you will be entering through airport-style security. As it's a public place, you will have to keep everything that you bring with you on your person at all times. Ideally, pass it off to a guest. Therefore, don't bring anything that you don't strictly need, as it can be an encumbrance when it comes to getting photos. Can we take romantic photos away from City Hall as well? Absolutely. There are so many fantastic portrait locations in San Francisco. I have a list of 36 of my favorite locations linked in the description. Popular choices include the Palace of Fine Arts, Crissy Field, and the San Francisco Botanical Garden, to name just a few. Alternatively, you can choose any San Francisco location that's meaningful to you. What else can we add on to make our day complete? The ceremony at City Hall can be the centerpiece of your day, or it can just be one very small part of it. Our photography services begin at just 2 hours, so there is no pressure to book anything more than the basics. To figure out exactly how to plan your unique day, be sure to check out my City Hall timeline tips linked in the description. Just a few ideas include getting ready photos at your hotel. A quick aside, I highly recommend treating yourselves to a stay at a San Francisco hotel the night before and after the wedding day. You do not want to deal with bridge traffic and congested freeways on your wedding day. A first look, a portion of your reception event at a local restaurant, chill at your home or hotel, go on a hike, to a sports game, anything you like. It doesn't have to be traditional. At Zoe Larkin Photography, we offer a special option to add additional coverage later on in the wedding day, allowing there to be a big gap between your morning ceremony and your dinner reception. We call that split coverage. What should we wear for our San Francisco City Hall wedding? A classic white wedding dress or black or blue suit is timeless and remains the most popular choice. I also do love less traditional choices like jumpsuits and smoking jackets and textural fabrics like velvet, ruffles, satin, and lace. Jewel tones photograph really well against the neutral backdrop of City Hall, as do pastels and pops of color. When choosing an outfit, be aware that the temperature inside the building is extremely warm year-round, so extra layers can be uncomfortable. Also make sure that your chosen ensemble fits you well to avoid tugging at your outfit. You should also ensure that you have the correct undergarments that are not visible so that you look and feel great. What's the best way of getting to City Hall and traveling around? I recommend using Uber or Lyft to travel to and from City Hall and onto your additional locations. It's the most efficient and cost-effective choice, and we get to skip the hassle of parking. If you opt to drive, I recommend the Civic Center garage across the street from City Hall. There is an entrance to the garage on Larkin and another on McAllister shown on screen. It's an underground garage and can be hard to spot, so drive slow. I recommend going straight down to level 2 or 3, as level 1 can be full by 9 AM. Once on foot, use the elevator bank that will bring you up near Polk Street, the UN Plaza, also known as Dr. Carlton B. Goodlit Place. If you wanted something more special, you could opt for a town car, limo, vintage car rental, or for transporting guests, a bus or a San Francisco style trolley. What will the pictures be like if City Hall is super busy? It's the photographer's job to guide you to places that are less busy in that moment. Bear in mind though that there is sometimes a wait while other couples get their photos on the grand staircase. Many photographers will zap background people like we do for those important shots that you'll want to frame. How do we choose a San Francisco City Hall wedding photographer? There are so many photographers out there, but fewer who specialize in City Hall weddings. We love to create images that are authentic, modern, yet timeless, fun, and full of life. Our approach relies on the magic of your own chemistry with lots of movement and humor. Ceremonies at San Francisco City Hall are so specialized and unlike any other kind of wedding, so insider knowledge is key. Get in touch to learn more and we'll take it from there.